AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Troops engage NPA in Misamis Oriental capture wounded rebel. AFP and PCG defend presence at the Skoda Shoal in West Philippine Sea amid Chinese protests. BMW assures they are ready to repatriate Filipinos in Lebanon. DOHI is declaring dengue outbreak. Good day everyone, as well to our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Tuesday, August 20, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. I am Ralph Susan for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces.
For the brief overview of our stories, operating troops of the 58th Infantry Battalion under the 402nd Infantry Brigade clashed with the New People's Army members in Barangay Manandum Daan, Medina, Misamis Oriental. The intense military operation led to a 10-minute firefight, resulting in the capture of a wounded NPA member and the recovery of backpacks containing supplies and intelligence materials. 58th IB Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Christian Uy praised his troops for their ongoing efforts to neutralize the remaining insurgents. He also urged the public to report any information that could help end the long-standing insurgency.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army revealed that recent clashes in Lambunao, Iloilo led to the deaths of two high-ranking communist leaders, exposing them as active participants in terrorism, not National Democratic Front consultants. Army spokesperson Colonel Louis de Maala emphasized that these individuals, neutralized by the 301st Infantry Brigade, were deeply involved in communist terrorism, bringing fear and suffering to isolated communities. He praised the brigade's dedication to peace and progress in Panay, citing their role in neutralizing rebels and gaining community support. Moreover, Colonel Di Maala urged the Filipinos to unite in ending the decades-long insurgency which has hindered the national progress.
Armed Forces Radio.
From First CRG, let us hear some information from Joanne about Joint Task Group Baguio welcomes the new commander.
Brigadier General Ferdinand Melchor de la Cruz, Philippine Army, took over the helm from Colonel Virgilio Noora, Philippine Army, as the new commander of the Joint Task Group Baguio in a turnover ceremony presided over by Major General Gulliver L. Siniras, Philippine Army, commander of the 5th Infantry Division, Philippine Army, held at Camp Henry T. Island, Baguio City on August 10, 2024. The ceremony marked a pivotal moment in the leadership of Joint Task Group Baguio as it continues its mission to ensure peace and security not just in Baguio City but in the whole Cordillera Administrative Region. In his message, Major General Sinires lauded the outstanding leadership and dedication demonstrated by Colonel Noora during his tenure. Under Colonel Noora's command, the Joint Task Group Baguio made remarkable strides in maintaining peace and security through its fight against insurgency, particularly in countering White area. Meanwhile, Brigadier General De La Cruz, the incoming commander and at the same time the commander of the 501st Infantry Brigade, Philippine Army, expressed his commitment to building upon the foundation laid by his predecessor. He emphasized his strategic priorities, including strengthening partnerships with local government units, enhancing the JTGB's capabilities, and continuing to safeguard the peace and development of Baguio City and its neighboring communities. Joint Task Group Baguio remains critical force in ensuring the security and stability of Baguio City and the region, and with Brigadier General De La Cruz, Philippine Army at the helm, it is poised to continue its mission with renewed vigor and dedication. This is Joanne Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
74 soldiers from the Philippine Army received merit medals for their bravery in combat against the New People's Army during a ceremony at Camp Hernandez, Iloilo. Visayas Command Commander Lieutenant General Fernando Reyeg awarded the Gold Cross Medal to 19 soldiers from the 12th Infantry Battalion, while 55 soldiers from the 82nd Infantry Battalion received the Silver Cross Medal. The honored soldiers played a key role in neutralizing key rebel leaders during recent clashes in Iloilo. Related to the 3rd of 1st Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Michael Sampson praised the troops for their heroic actions that significantly weakened the enemy and contributed to peace and security in Panay.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine Coast Guard justified the deployment of BRP Teresa Magbanua at Escoda Shoal, asserting it is within the country's 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone. This came after China lodged a diplomatic protest against the Philippines. PCG emphasized their presence is to safeguard the sovereign rights and prevent illegal activities, while AFP spokesperson Colonel Francil Padilla affirmed the ongoing patrols in the area to support the national interest.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Miami about NDF West Philippine Sea reports 2 Philippine ships damaged after collisions with Chinese Coast Guard in Escoda Shoal.
Yes, Rolf. 2 Philippine vessels sustained damage following separate collisions with Chinese Coast Guard ships during a resupply mission near Escoda Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. The National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea reported that BRP Cape Engaño and BRP Bagakay were hit by 2 different Chinese vessels. Despite the incidents, both ships continued their mission to Patag and Lawak Islands. The task force called on China to adhere to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea to prevent further escalation. This is Ami reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ami.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The second phase of the Inter-Cabinet Cluster Mechanism on Normalization Caravan has successfully concluded in the Lanao region, benefiting thousands of decommissioned Moro Islamic Liberation Front members and their families. Various national government agencies and Bangsamoro ministries provided services such as medical and dental care, field health and field society registration, livelihood assistance, and more at Camp Bilal in Lanao del Norte and Camp Bushra in Lanao del Sur. Additionally, a new 57 million pesos rural health unit was handed over in Barangay Sandab, Butig, Lanao del Sur. Presidential Peace Advisor Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. highlighted the caravan as a testament to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s commitment to the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro Normalization Program.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, the Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Layo Kakdak assures that they are ready to repatriate overseas Filipino workers affected by the escalating tension in Lebanon. Kakdak said that currently the government is implementing a voluntary repatriation, so OFWs are still in the process of deciding whether or not they heed the call of the ambassador to come home. The DMW chief also noted that OFWs, whether documented or undocumented, will receive the necessary assistance. He also announced that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has raised the financial assistance for displaced OFWs from 50,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos.
Armed Forces Radio.
We have a report coming in about Third ID declares the end of Panay insurgency after top CTG leaders neutralized in Iloilo clashes. Going for the details, Spencer.
Yes, Rolf, the Philippine Army declared the decades-long insurgency in Panay over following the deaths of several top communist terrorist group leaders in recent clashes in Iloilo. Major General Marion Sison, commander of the 3rd Infantry Division, stated that the deaths of Maria Concepcion Araneta Bocala and Vivian Torato Teodosio, along with other high-ranking officials, marked the end of the insurgency in the region. The intense recent encounter in Barangay Kabatangan, Lambunao, also led to the discovery of the decomposing body of Vicente Hinojales, the Regional Secretary of Comiting Region, Panay. In August alone, the Army neutralized 10 CTG members and seized multiple firearms. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer Ross.
DWDD National News.
The Party List Representative Ron Sundalo is urging all Filipinos in Lebanon to take advantage of the free repatriation being offered by the government. He said that they should take immediate action while airports remain operational. Salo emphasizes and reminds the OFWs that there is no greater comfort than being with their families. Lebanon is placed under Crisis Alert Level 3 or voluntary repatriation.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Health is considering declaring a dengue outbreak in the country. DOH Secretary Teodoro Harbosa said that based on his discussion with the Epidemiology Bureau, the dengue situation in the country has reached outbreak levels. He noted that his formal announcement regarding the issue will be made in a separate press conference. As of August 3, the agency has recorded a total of 136,161 dengue cases in the Philippines.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear from Beth about AFP welcomes PNP's exemption of soldiers from drug and neuro tests for firearm permits.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines has welcomed the Philippine National Police decision to accept soldiers from drug and neuro test required for firearms permit and a renewal. AFP spokesperson Colonel Prancel Margaret Padilla said the move nothing elevates the burden on the soldiers who cannot easily leave their post. She also criticized the test of redundant as soldiers already undergo similar evaluation annually. Moreover, Philippine Army spokesperson Colonel Louis Di Maala also supported the exemption, highlighting the necessity of such tests for promotion. This is Bethanieta reporting for the EFP Community News, 1 EFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Beth Daniete.
DWDD National News.
For other development story, after 3 straight weeks of rollbacks, companies raised their pump prices today. Gasoline prices have increased by 1 peso per liter while diesel went up by 1 peso and 20 centavos. The increase in prices are in line with the projections made the Department of Energy Oil Industry Management Bureau. The agency earlier cited fears of escalating tensions in the Middle East and the easing of U.S. monetary policy.
DWDD National News.
The Bureau of Customs has seized more than 300 tons or around 50 million pesos worth of assorted agricultural products in 2 cold storage facilities in Davao City. Authorities found significant quantities of onions, carrots, tomatoes, and other products allegedly being stored without proper payment of duties and taxes. Customs Commissioner Benvenido Rubio said that the successful operation is a testament of the agency's relentless efforts to crack down on the smuggling of agricultural products. The operation was a concerted effort between Customs and the Department of Agriculture.
Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about Philippine Army aims to declare SIPs or SIPs in Western Visayas by September. Go ahead, Jimboy.
3rd Infantry Division is targeting the declaration of Western Visayas as under stable internal peace and security by September. This follows the successful dismantling of 5 NPA guerrilla front in Negros Island and the present death of top committing regional Panay leaders in Iloilo, including Maria Concepcion Araneta Bukhala and Vicente Hinuyales. 7 other leaders were also neutralized in the said encounters. In line with this, Major General Maria Sison, commander of the 3rd Infantry Division, urged the remaining NPAs to lay down their arms and choose a path of peace. He also lauded the operating infantry unit of 3rd Officers Infantry Brigade for their relentless effort, commitment, and perseverance in conduct of focused military operation to put an end to local communist armed conflict, particularly in Panay. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. called on agencies and local government units to expand livelihood-related services to reach more Filipinos around the country. This is through the Bagong Pilipinas Servisyo Fair. The Servisyo Fair caravan acts as one-stop shop, offering services like processing passports, NBI clearance, loan applications, and even consultations with PhilHealth and SSS. PBBM likewise urged the agencies and LGUs to utilize technology in this endeavor. It tasked them to get more Filipinos to avail of the government's livelihood assistance program.
DWDD National News.
Department of Social Welfare Development Secretary Rex Gatchalian warned that tampering with or repacking the agency's family food packs is illegal. Gatchalian said that an internal investigation committee has been commissioned to look into the matter. Republic Act No. 10121 or the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010 prohibits diverting or misdelivering relief goods, equipment, or aid commodities to anyone other than the rightful recipient or consignee. It also prohibits accepting, possessing, using, or disposing of relief goods, equipment, or other aid commodities not intended for or consigned to the individual. Violators may face a fine of 50,000 pesos to 500,000 pesos and imprisonment of 6 to 12 years.
Armed Forces Radio.
And now let's hear a report on the ground about U.S. and France express support for Philippines after Chinese Coast Guard collisions. Go for the details, Bea.
Yes, Rolf, the United States and France have expressed support for the Philippines following recent collisions between two Chinese Coast Guard vessels and Philippine Coast Guard ships near Escoda Sabina Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. U.S. Ambassador Mary Kay Carlson condemned the dangerous actions of the Chinese vessel and reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to uphold Philippine rights under international law. The French embassy in Manila also voiced concern, calling for respect for the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea and recalling the July 12, 2016 arbitral ruling in favor of the Philippines. This is Beatrice reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD National News.
Moving on to another story, Justice Undersecretary Raul Vasquez revealed that the government requested help or a red notice from the International Police Crime Organization or Interpol. This is to serve an arrest warrant to former Negros Oriental Congressman Arnolfo Teves Jr., who is currently in Timor-Leste. Vasquez explained that once the request was granted, Interpol would inform Timorese authorities about the warrant issued by the Philippines against the former lawmaker. A red notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and arrest a person pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action.
DWDD National News.
Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Norman Tancinco said that dismissed Mayor Alice Guo's departure is not recorded in the agency's system and centralized database. Guo's name is already in the Immigration Lookout Bulletin order. Tancinco noted that they have not received any reports related to Guo from other agencies, including those manning the maritime borders. With this, the BI chief said that Guo illegally traveled to Malaysia in July and allegedly flew to Singapore last July 21 with her siblings Sheila and Wesley Guo.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Chris Bell about 7 local terrorists surrendered in Maguindanao del Norte.
7 former local terrorists have surrendered to government troops after turning themselves to various units of the 1st Brigade Combat Team in Pigcalagan, Sultan Kudarat, Maguindanao del Norte. According to Brigadier General Jose Vladimir Cagarag, commander of the 1st BCT, 2 of those who returned to the government fold were members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, Bungos faction. They initially surrendered to the 6th Mechanized Battalion, bringing with them their firearms. Meanwhile, the 5 other BIFF members surrendered to the 99th Infantry Battalion along with other weapons including a 60mm mortar, an M14, a Garand rifle, an improvised explosive device, magazines, and ammunition. Brigadier General Cagara immediately presented the 7 personalities to Major General Antonio Navarrete, the commander of the 6th Infantry Division and Joint Task Force Central during his visit yesterday to the VCT headquarters. With the assistance of the Ministry of Public Order and Safety, the Ministry of Social Services and Development BARM, and their respective local government units, the former rebels who were victims of terroristic ideology and circumstances were provided with initial financial assistance and food packs. The division commander noted that the surrender of these personalities is a result of the collaborative efforts of the military, the local government units, stakeholders, and the peace-loving citizens of Maguindanao del Norte. This is Crisbel May Lorenzo reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Crisbel.
DWDD National News.
Senators blast China following the collision in Escoda Shoal in the West Philippine Sea. Senate Majority Leader Francis Tolentino said that the ramming incident and China's acts of aggression are unacceptable. He emphasized that China should respect the Philippines' sovereign rights and adhere to international maritime law. For her part, Senator Grace Poe said that the damage inflicted on the Philippine vessel endangers the safety of the crew. She committed to continue to stand behind the Philippine Coast Guard in protesting and exposing these unlawful activities.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time and same station. Again, this is Ralph Susan for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP Radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.